Okay, guys, hello. So, today we are going to talk about a certain thing that I recently understood very thoroughly and deeply and very detailedly understood in Buddhism. So, I would like to share it. I am very good at understanding stuff. Okay, maybe you guys don't appreciate it, but I definitely feel like I definitely understood it way more than I expected myself to be. But I'm very bad at sharing stuff, or even was it sharing, or even explaining stuff. So forgive me if I have any errors, but at least I can understand in different contexts. So here's what I know about this certain aspect of Buddhism. So maybe most of you don't have an astrological background, but for those of you who do know, either you study astrology before, or you are astrology fanatics or enthusiasts. I don't know how to spell that. Maybe I butchered the spelling. So in horoscope there are four elements, right? So it is called fire, earth, air, and water, right? In Buddhism there are similarly four elements. I'm sorry, this is just absurdly absurdly misplaced. Anyways, we call them Iddhipadas, or the foot or the base of celestial power or divine power, right? So it is these four are called. The first one is zealousness. The second one is called contentment or effort. The third one is the base of intent, and the fourth one is the base of discernment. So this is how they. I didn't I didn't exactly know because I never consult a meditation teacher to confirm this, but this at least I studied through multiple sources and then come to the conclusion that the four bases of power most likely cover these aspects. So yeah. So okay, there's nothing to explain here. These are the four analytical knowledges. I'm sorry, this is Chinese. My bad. Anyways, these are four analytical knowledges. These are the five spiritual faculties I picked for them. These are the four pure abodhis. I don't know, it's divine abodhis or pure abodhis. I forgot the four qualities of the divine gods or brahmas, divine deities, right? And this is the among the eight attainments, among the eight jhana attainments, the four main qualities that put a lot of emphasis on. Is that what I would say? They are most refined, I think. Yeah, I believe. So you can also put it this way too. I don't know. I don't know if you necessarily put it this way is accurate, but this is how I regroup it in a way. So you can see that there's each category has that one, right? But you can also see that it is actually mixed up because they actually felt like in their respective category. For example, something like sukha, joy, right? Is joy, and upekkha you can't count that because that is more kind of like the latter four attainments. Whereas sukha, joy is kind of like uplifting joy, right? During meditation attainment. That is kind of like the main category is earth, right? Because it was four jhanas and the four immaterial attainments, but then the subcategory is kind of like uplifting. So it's kind of in those senses more kind of like air. It's kind of like air, right? It's kind of like uplifting, kind of like mudita, which is sympathetic joy. So another thing you can see that is that water and air are attracted to each other. How I explain this is water and air have similar properties, whereas fire and earth are similar properties, right? Not similar properties, similar is handling things you didn't like is fire and earth, whereas water and air is handling things you like, right? But in the same way, fire and water is kind of in they have similar properties too. It's kind of self-interest, fire and water, kind of water is smarts, fire is strength, right? And then air and earth is handling people, interacting with people with similar values, and then interacting with people that you didn't like, right? You didn't enjoy company with. Earth is like that, right? So this is important. So I think they have kind of have similar properties, right? That group them together. So I think that's something. But I think the former situation is like kind of like similar properties, but like in like different situations. But it's kind of like the latter is like kind of like for example, air and earth is about people, right? Other people, whereas fire and water is about self-interest. It's kind of like in the similar domains, but like opposite qualities. So I think that's something to be that one. I hope that makes sense. I don't know. I understood why it is opposite and similar, but I don't know if the explanation makes sense. So hope that this chart can really help you. Anyways, that's it for today's video. Thank you guys for watching. Have a good night. Goodbye.